Ladies and gentlemen, sewage pandemic. Judson with them. Sewage crisis. Judson with them. You see, folks, I've been in the federal courthouse in Raleigh, North Carolina, the Sanford Federal Courthouse, the shittiest federal courthouse in America, where they dump all their sewage in the Walnut Creek there in Raleigh. But I've been in the Sanford Federal Courthouse for the past 9 years, arguing with Judge Terrence W. Boyle about the massive poisoning of America's waterways with sewage overflows and flushing lakes and environmentally flushing this and dumping toxins and infectious human waste all over the northeastern United States and Canada. The bottom line is, ladies and gentlemen, we have a pandemic of sewage all over the United States. It's disgusting, and the federal judges of the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals, the federal judges of the federal courts in North Carolina, the justices of the United States Supreme Court, the U.S. Marshals, the FBI, the Department of Justice, the EPA, and Donald Trump, Barack Obama, Bill and Hillary Clinton, the Bushes, all of them have a lot of explaining to do about the pandemic of sewage being dumped all over America. The combined sewage systems of the United States and the combined sewage systems around the world are the sickest idea, the most twisted. It's feeding the pandemic, ladies and gentlemen. The world has a sewage crisis, Donald Trump, and Dr. Fauci and the CDC and the World Health Organization, well, gee golly whiz, they didn't tell you about it, did they? Isn't that amazing how Andy Cuomo didn't mention it, and how Governor Roy Cooper of North Carolina hasn't spoken to it? Now, bioterrorism, biological terrorism involves the use of sewer systems. Isn't this fascinating? Mr. Robert Mueller and Christopher Wray over at FBI, isn't this fascinating how sewers and sewage can be used in bioterrorism? At a time in America where we have a pandemic of infectious disease, we better take a hard, cold, long look at what United States District Judge Terrence W. Boyle and the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals in Charlotte, Virginia, with the U.S. Supreme Court did to my case over the last 9 years at the Sanford Federal Courthouse in Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm going to close this particular video up by saying this. America has a pandemic of sewage being dumped all over the place, and Governor Cuomo's 2-week quarantine for visitors from out of state, well, that's not going to address the pandemic of sewage fraud, the fiasco in New York, the sewage fiasco in Connecticut, Vermont, the sewage fiasco in Pennsylvania, Maryland, New Jersey, Virginia, North Carolina, Illinois, Chicago's just inundated, however you say that. California, same thing. Washington State, Louisiana, Florida, it's all over the country, folks. Massive amounts of sewage being dumped into the environment by the government itself. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to leave it right there. And as always, hasta la vista. God bless, and you bet your sweet ass we're coming back.